What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'll be talking about Whiteout Survival, giving you a full guide to attaining the best troops. And although I've not reached that stage yet, but I can get it right now because I have a lot of my resources saved up, a lot of gems, speed ups that are saved up. But the reason why I'm not going to do that is because I have to plan when I use my speed ups, when to increase my construction or troops power. One example of that is, like for example, this event where you have to train troops, raise chief charm by a certain level to get points, and I'm just waiting for the correct event to use all the speed ups because I can get more items listed here. And also there are ranking awards which can give you very decent items and gems. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to give you a very strong overview of Whiteout Survival and how you're going to get your strongest troops quickly. The first step is to play your game efficiently. How do you play Whiteout Survival efficiently? And I'm just going to give you quite a bit of guide on it, and I'm going to divide the areas where you should focus on and why you should do what I'm going to tell you to do. And of course, before I start, there is something called the furnace, and furnace is basically the most important building that you will build. And other similar names of these furnace in other games is like town hall, mansion. Basically it's the most important building for you to upgrade. The special thing about Whiteout Survival is that there is different like survival status and things that will affect your productivity in your resources. So what I'll recommend you is for the furnace, at the overview, just turn on your furnace and have it on max power 24/7. It doesn't use as much resources as you think, so just do that. And for the cookhouse, you would see this beside the production here. There's a yellow menu, and give them the best fancy meal ever so that you're able to have your survival status right at the top and make sure that they're happy and they are surviving. After that, once you have settled that, or make sure even before you download the game or create your account, that you have about 1 to 2 hours to just stare at your phone to play the game, because this is the most crucial moment where construction is only a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds. Just stare at it, build your next building, and continue until you can sleep while having your furnace upgrade throughout your sleep. So recommend about 10 hours furnace upgrade time, then you can sort of like stop playing the game for a while and go to sleep. And the reason I also suggest this is because once you upgrade your furnace level high enough, you're able to unlock alliance and many other different features which might even boost your gameplay, boost your how quickly your construction, your research speed is, so you can play much more efficiently once you get through the first hurdle of the lower levels of the game. Recommend you to skip quickly. About 1 to 2 hours will do. And why I also recommend you to rush through a level is because you're able to get ahead of everybody else, have higher power, and from doing so you're able to join a stronger alliance. And what a stronger alliance means is that more active players, they're able to click help for you, and clicking help really helps a lot because you're able to reduce construction time, research time, even healing troops time. And other than that, you're able to get this called defection gifts or alliance gifts, which gives you plenty of resources, gems, items that you need for your growth in the game. That is the reason why you have to quickly rush through the furnace level, because the alliance tab is not unlocked right away. And once you are done, make sure that once some features are unlocked or heroes are unlocked and pets are unlocked, you should get the hero called Zinman. And the reason why Zinman is very important is because over here at the skills tab, you can see that he reduces your construction speed by like a passive skill. So just have it on, or there are a couple of ways to get him, but there's really a free way to get this hero. And to prove it, I only played this game for 100 days, 102 days. Pretty much I can unlock quite a lot of things because I have a lot of things saved up. Over here, the deals area, you can see that there's the first purchase because I've not even bought anything in the game and I've advanced quite far into the game. It's very friendly for free players so far. So Z-Man is a very important hero to get, and the next one is to make sure to start up all of your rare heroes. And why you want to start up your rare heroes is because all of their skills have to do with resource production and gathering speed. So resource production is how much your resource can be produced in your furnace or in your base, and gathering speed is how fast you can kind of like get resources out of your base to send like troops out to sort of like get resources. For example, I need meat, can gather. The gathering time will be reduced if I have better heroes, so that's the aim, to get better heroes. So now that we have covered the most important hero part, we don't have to care about the combat heroes because that's not the main point. You eventually get pretty good heroes. Yeah, from then on, speaking of gathering resources, it is vital for you to continuously get resources, send out your march troops, your troops together. So at the beginning, do train quite a number of troops. That will be very crucial in you being able to maintain gathering resources outside of your base. And this gives you, I think, about like 50% or 30 to 50% of your resource income will be from gathering. And it's also free, so you save a lot of money from paying to get resources. So that is very, very worth it. Speaking of gathering resources, you will need troop marchers, and how you get the troop marchers is through the research tree. So in the beginning, what I recommend you is to focus on your growth and your economy. Why these two is because first, for the economy, it can increase your resource production. It enhances your output for resource production in your base, and also you can increase your gathering speed by quite a bit of percentage. So as you can see, 45% increase in gathering speed. Just imagine, like, if you have a couple of these like gathering speed research done, it can be over 100%, 200%. So let's say it normally takes you 12 hours to rob the resource, now it might be only like 4 hours. So that's a very big improvement. And next is growth, and why you want to increase your growth research first is for three main reasons. First reason is that there's this research called tooling up, so this reduces construction speed. Second, we got tool enhancement, which reduces research speed, so you get to research whatever thing faster. And lastly, right at the top here, we get to see the command tactics. And what command tactics does is that it increases the amount of march queue that you have. So for example, the march queue is over right here. It's the amount of queues that you can send out your troops for attacks, for gathering. And what this means is that more march queues equal to more troops out at your base to gather resources, and more resources in return back to your base. You can get up to 5 march queues without paying, but the last two, the 6th march queue is, of course, you have to pay to get a march queue. And the 5th one is that you have to reach VIP 6, which can be quite a hassle, quite difficult to do at the beginning of the game. So 4 march queues is enough. Anyway, there's 4 types of resources, just send 1 for each. Yeah, so after mentioning research, if you notice, there's a material called steel over here, and you can only get steel through exploration, through this exploration income. And what you should do early in the game is to just try to get this exploration tab as high as you can to get you a constant good amount of steel income, so that it can continuously up your research for your growth and your economy tab. So that's a very good tip for the exploration. And another way you can get resource is through intel. And what I mean by intel is over here, like there's the beast hunting, which gives you some resource after killing it. I'm just going to give you an example of the finishing 1 intel. This is the quickest, basically like scouting, rescuing survivors. And what you can see here is that we get quite a number of resources back to our base. So that's another way to get resources through intel. And the good thing about intel is that you gain resources instantly, even though there's not much of resources. The next step is regarding events, and as you noticed at the start of the video, I said that I could actually get the best tier unit, which is the level 10 units. Oops, I'm not start training, but yeah, level 10, the Apex unit. But I've not gotten it because my furnace is still upgrading to the max level, and the event right now is nothing to do with like using speed ups or upping your power. So what I mean by this is obviously to plan your usage of your resources at the same time as when the event starts. So by doing so, you get kind of like a rebate instead of just spending, throwing away your resources for nothing. And speaking about events, there are a couple of events where you should look out for, and it's quite a recurring event. The first one to notice is the bear hunt. So what bear hunt is that when it has to do with your alliance, and once it is released, you're able to attack the bear and get quite a lot of resource. So this is mainly to obtain resources and also like this like alliance token to exchange items with inside the alliance shop. So I think the bear hunt happens every a couple of days, 1 to 2 days. We also see that there's this alliance championship, and what you do is to deploy your army into one of 3 rows. And what this does is that if you win, you get more kind of like points to exchange. And usually this alliance championship is to exchange for these 2 items, hardened alloy and the polishing solution. So what these items are for is that when you reach higher level in your furnace level, you're able to unlock gears, and this helps you to upgrade your gears by using the respective materials. And of course you can see that there's also charm upgrades, which is when you even reach to a higher furnace level, you unlock this, and mainly is to have more stats for your troops. For your gear enhancement and charm enhancement is mostly targeted towards troops. And later on in the game, you also unlock something called pets, and pets are mainly to buff your troops, but also there's this thing called the pet skill. And what the pet skill does is that it's very good for the first pet that you receive. You get to quickly activate this skill. Depending on your pet skill level, your construction bars will be higher or lower, and also you're able to make sure to time your expensive or your very long construction, the furnace and embassy, to this construction speed up, because it will help reduce it by even like 1 day, 2 days, and it's very helpful to use the skill. And of course right over here there's the chief's order, and what this does is that it can improve your production levels, and also to improve construction speed for the double time construction speed. And why I also told you right at the beginning to up your furnace level to max and cookhouse to max is because some of these like resource production have a disadvantage, which is to reduce your survivors morale. So if you always have your survivors morale up, you can always continuously use the chief's order to improve production speed or increase your resources produced in your base continuously. So yeah, that's my main reason for also introducing you to set your furnace at max and also your cookhouse at a fancy meal. Some notable mentions are the polar terror and the beast. So what this does is that it gives you resources and also some resource to upgrade your gear, your chief gear materials. So this is just a sideline. It's not very important for this video. And what is more important in this video is to look at the shops. And over at the nomadic merchant, it's very important for you to always every single day to buy the one on the discount, because you keep all these resources in your bank, and the amount you exchange it for is cheaper than the normal rate. So you are always at a constant profit when you exchange those on the discount. So every day just make sure to refresh the mystery shop as well, because sometimes you might get free items. The main thing to look at is the nomadic merchant and the mystery shop, to refresh it daily to get the items that you need. Yeah, the next step is also this thing called the dock. And what the dock does is that over time, as you improve your island, you are able to build more and more buildings, and these buildings have an effect on your actual game. What I mean by this is that, for example, the basic dock, you can see that there's a troop deployment capacity of increase of 400 for you. And why this is so important is because for some of the buildings over here, you can see that it increases your training speed, construction speed, gathering speed. And what you want to do is to just make sure to check on your dock and continue to upgrade your building so that you get an overall increase in your stats. So that's for the dock. And of course there's free heroes recruitment every 5 minutes for 5 times for the advanced recruitment, and for the epic recruitment is once every 2 days. So make sure to also continuously recruit heroes so that you can kind of like upgrade your star level. And how the star level works is that, as mentioned, I recommend you to upgrade your rare heroes first. And why I say to keep a hold on your other like super rare heroes is that sometimes events require you to use certain like hero shards, and you get points from doing so. So Just upgrade the ones that matter first and save those like shards for when the event occurs. So you have to upgrade the hero 6 times to attain 1 star. Make sure to increase the hero star level so you can unlock like these skills to improve hunting income and meat gatherings as well. So as you can see, I have a lot of like these super SSR heroes and I don't even have to pay to get them. One tip I recommend is to save your mystic shards for using on the heroes on Zinman. As long as you don't use the shards on Molly, you're perfectly fine because you're able to get Molly shards in the recruitment center. But for other heroes, only once you have unlocked the hero, like for example here, the initial 10 shards, you're able to use the common mystic shards as shown to upgrade the tier of your hero. So make sure to only save the mystic shards for those heroes that you cannot get from the recruitment center. Yeah, so I think this is all the basics that I covered that will grant you success in getting your level 10 maxed out troops. Of course, there's even a higher tier which requires like the fire crystals. If you can see over here, there's the fire crystals so that your troops will be even stronger, but that's for a later video. This is the first basic video that you should be following, and I guarantee you that without paying, you can get your max level 10 Apex troops in under 3 months without spending a single dime of single penny into this game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and I hope this is very informational for you. And if you like my video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also leave some comments down in the description box below if you like more content on the Whiteout Survival. I'll try to up my game quickly to finish a lot of the research that I've kind of like waited for a long time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys again real soon.